Okay, 11A15, B slot. Ooh, so we're starting to get more confidence. So if we can do this in B slot, really starts to open up a whole another set of different launches that we can look at if we're getting really confident in this particular style launch. I can see obviously, Nadia, for you it would be really tough to have that grip because you got no grip on the right. I guess you could put your right hand in there, but I don't know if, I mean, you have that as it comes through the door and you're ready to make the move. So if you're comfortable with that, that's good. Just got to watch the key, Yara. Yeah, there we go. It's all complete. Nice. Nice. All right. A. So the first A build, we have a little bit of a crunch at the end of the 11, and there's not really any space here for Otto. See that? So we're trying to fit Otto in a tiny little gap there, which makes it uncomfortable for everyone. So Nadia would have to kind of open up to here, Nadia, like at 45 degrees out to there. It's not an in-place turn, if you, especially because this 11 ends up very crunched because of your proximity to the door. Just open it up, and then 15, really good. Loving that finished shape of the 15. Check that out. That's good. Okay. Confidence builds on this jump through the skydive. There's a little bit of an open out there, and just getting used to at the end of 15, it's very common for there to feel tension inside here. So obviously want to be light and balanced and neutral, etc. Or if there is tension, be working against it so that as the key comes, the center point doesn't move anywhere, Nadia. I know from experience that's pretty tough inside that one. Okay, 11. Oh, the 11s keep getting better. Little brain lock. More space though for you there, Otto, that time at least. Maybe you were shocked by all the space that you had. Nice job out into the shape of the 15. Cool. And then there's a perfect example of what I was talking about, how to do it now from the end of the 15 into the 11. It's actually overdone a little bit too much rotation. Makes for a little strange shape, but no biggie. Nice. Ah, perfect. So we've got memory and space here. That's good. Now, ideally, I would have said the other engineering, but because it's B slot, I'm really glad you took standard engineering. I would have had Nadia stay in the center with Matthew coming into another A here with Otto on Nadia. But actually, I'm super happy that you went for standard engineering because it just gets you more comfortable in your B slots for standard stuff. Eventually, I would really like to add the alternative engineering, the alternative random sets that we have. But for now, that's good. And then Otto, just watch this from A. So there's the center of the A. It looks like a little too far out and back. Ideally, your center point, instead of being back here, would be about here somewhere. And just plot the course. So there's the center point. There's the long axis. We know, like, you should see your route map now. You should see your route map to the start of the 15. It's not to Nadia. It's a place that's relative to Yora and the center point. So there's Yora now. So ideally, you are 90 degrees to him. That's his setup. You miss it. Obviously, you got Nadia slot here, and it would be like this. If you were building an 8-way donut, it would be a perfect setup if there was 1, 2, 3. See that? Can you picture that there? So that would be your shape. But there's some good ones later and before, so I know you do know it. There we go, Nadia. That's a really nice move into the 11. Cool. Still a little bit too far back. And look what it creates in the center, Otto. With you doing this, Nadia is kind of forced to pick up your grips there and keep rotating, which now gives us a 90-degree shape, which may be comfortable in the center, but it forces a very acute angle on the outsides. Getting better. There we go, you see that? So we've got more of an 8-way shaped donut. Matthew, I've not been saying much about you guys on the back. You guys can be cheated like this. You don't have to have that real lazy 45. This is just fine. And then there is another really good example. So at the end of the block as well, you can see here, Otto, how you are 90 degrees virtually. I mean, I know that your upper body's in a bit, and that's fine. At the end of the block, it's not a problem if your head is a little more cheated, because you've got the next move coming up for the majority of the moves, like 90% of the moves. But that's a real good shape there. So Yora and Otto pretty much at 90 degrees to each other. If you carry on those lines, there's the angle we're talking about. And it's more about the build of the first point, but also relevant to the second part. I'm kind of digging the B slot 11s. I don't think there's too much. The main thing I've seen with the 11s is poor builds from A slots, but lots of good focus going into here. And initially in the beginning, it looked like the front pair was a little slow to rotate at the end, and it was causing a bit of a wide finish, but this is looking really good now. Nice, Otto. So you're starting to learn that your trajectory is not straight backwards into the 15, but actually out to here. And I don't know if for you it works better to know, probably a bit of both actually. There's two ways to look at a center person move, especially as outside center. Is you can look at it as a move relative to the long axis, relative to the center point, and you can also do it as in knowing your trajectory for your center point. So you can mix the two. You've got awareness of the center point and then where your center point has to go. And that's something you can learn on the creeper as well. Very nice. Nice. Really digging seeing the confidence in these B slots. The speed will come, guys. Especially with the confidence of where we're going. All right, little awareness of what's going on here on the back. So Matthew, you've got really nice grip happening here, but you've forgotten where your hip is. So let's make sure that you put your hip in position. Always hips first, then grips. Even rhymes. Nice, good finish on the rotation. Excellent.